Okay, we now know what density is. Now let's start calculating and making quantitative predictions with density. And I am a huge proponent of keeping math logical. And the math, in my opinion, all of chemistry, almost all of chemistry, in basic chemistry anyways, is done through simple unit cancellations. And so I'm going to treat this just like I would a conversion problem. And I'm going to take what is given in the problem, which is this right here, 3.22. And what I want to do to it is multiply it by the density or the reciprocal of the density, whichever one is going to give us the desired units. And so let me just talk through this problem real quick. It says the density of gold is known to be 19.3 grams per milliliter. If a ring has a mass of 3.22 grams, what is the volume? So the way that I'm going to do that is I'm going to take what is measured in this problem, which is 3.22 grams. And then I'm going to multiply that by one of two things. Either I'm going to multiply it by 19.3 grams over 1 milliliter, or I'm going to multiply it by 1 milliliter over 19.3 grams. Now, how did I know that that was 19.3 grams over 1 milliliter? Well, this is a ratio. Anytime you say grams per milliliter like that, it's over 1 whatever. It's just like 60 miles per hour. That's 60 miles over 1 hour. Okay? So, back to this solving here. Which one of these is correct? Well, the grams needs to be opposite of this. This is in the numerator. Therefore, I'm looking for grams in the denominator. Oh, there it is. So therefore, this one right here is incorrect. This one is correct. Like that. And so therefore, I can multiply these, or I can multiply across now. So if you'll notice, you'll take 3.22 times 1 and then divided by 19.3. However, this is just simply 3.22 times 1 is just 1. So therefore, it's just going to be 3.22 divided by 19.3, and you get a value of 0.167 milliliters. That's what's left on top, and that is correct. And that should make sense because if I have 1 milliliter of gold, I need to have 19.3 grams. And this is quite a bit less than 19.3 grams. So therefore, I should have much less than 1 milliliter. Let's do another problem. Iron has a density of 7.87 grams per milliliter. So that's can be written as follows. 7.87 grams over 1 milliliter. Or it can be the reciprocal of that, which is 1 milliliter over 7.87 grams. Like so. So now it says if you have a rod that is that many milliliters, 60.2, what is the mass? So I'm going to either take 60.2 milliliters times this ratio or this ratio. And again, I'm looking to cancel this. So this milliliter is in the numerator. I need to find milliliters in the denominator. Oh, there it is, which means that this one is incorrect. And I can just simply look at it like this. In this case, it's easy. 60.2 times 7.87 is equal to, I'm going to round this to correct number of sig figs. That should be, 4.7. That's ridiculous. We'll call that 474 grams because that is what is uncanceled, like so. Okay, both of these problems here were solved by simple unit cancellation. Now, I do have a problem here that is not going to allow for unit cancellation because, let's just read the problem. A student finds an object with a mass of 2.4 grams and the volume is 4.8 milliliters. What is the density of the object? In this case, the density has units of mass over volume, which is grams per milliliter. It could be like kilograms per cubic centimeter or cubic meter or something like that, as long as it's a mass and volume unit. But in this case, it is what I would call not a unit cancellation problem. This is a unit creation problem because I want to create those units, which tells me exactly what to do. I'm going to take my grams divided by my milliliters. That's it. So I'm going to take 2.4 grams divided by 4.8 milliliters. And notice those units do not cancel because that's going to give me the units of density, which is grams per milliliter. And when I take in my calculator 2.4 divided by 4.8, I should get 0.5, and I'm going to add a 0 at the end of that because both of these numbers have 2 sig figs. And that is the final answer. Solving density, you can always, some of you may be a big proponent of using D equals M over V, like so, and that's fine. You can do that. Or maybe you use the triangle, maybe you were taught that, D, M, V. I am not a huge fan of that because to me you're memorizing a method. This is something that will help you regardless of the math problem that's given to you, because if you know what the unit is and where you're trying, the unit of where you're trying to go to, then you can do any kind of math problem in chemistry. And something like unit creation and unit cancellation is much more applicable than memorizing the density equation.